Powered by XUV400 and Cool Fans.
देश देख रहा है एक अकेला कितनों को भारी पड़ रहा है।
Modi takes on the opposition today in Rajya Sabha after Lok Sabha yesterday. Prime Minister amid chaos takes on the opposition, and like how?
फार्मेसी की दुनिया में हमारा देश एक ताकत बन के उभर रहा है। दुनिया की फार्मेसी का हब बन रहा है। हमारे नौजवान नए नए इनोवेशन कर रहे हैं, उसको बदनाम करने के रास्ते खोज रहे हैं ये लोग।
Prime Minister exposes the vaccine lobby. He says his job gang attacked India for own benefit. Politics end, but questions to Adani remains as stocks tumble again today. Pro-Khalistani groups attacked police officers with swords and rods. Is it free for all in Punjab now? Storm over CBI report alleging snooping. Aam Admi Party denies charges. BJP hits the streets. Death toll mounts to over 25,000. The world prays for Turkey and Syria, viewers. Well, hello and welcome, viewers. I am Aishwarya Kapoor and you are watching The Burning Question. Viewers, while the opposition is stagnant and like how and are only seeking an explanation from the Prime Minister himself on Adani, the government says there is no need. The government says that the officers concerned, whether that of the LIC or that of the SBI or even the Finance Secretary himself, have answered. But the opposition seems to have launched an attack even today when the Prime Minister took on and like how on the opposition after his fearful attack on the Congress yesterday in Lok Sabha. The opposition understood that if they do not return back to disruption, the Prime Minister is going to have his way through. Hence, when they were not able to counter, and please understand, when the opposition was not able to counter and convince the people of this country, that is you, viewers, they returned back to disruption. When the Prime Minister was speaking today in the upper house, yes, the upper house, the house of intellectuals, Rajya Sabha, there was a continuous chaos and noise, which you will very clearly, you must have heard it, and you will hear it again when we play that particular bite of the Prime Minister. But what does it tell us? It tells us that the opposition is unable to comprehend how to stop or how to send their message across against what the Prime Minister has said. Because the Prime Minister is speaking on facts. The Prime Minister is speaking on reality while the opposition wants to create its own narrative. The opposition says we are not satisfied with what the Finance Secretary says. The opposition says that we are not satisfied with what the LIC chief says, with what the SBI CMD says. If that's the matter of fact, then what are they looking for? Explanation or political brownie points? That's the burning question. But first, the special report.
और आदरणीय सभापति जी, देश देख रहा है एक अकेला कितनों को भारी पड़ रहा है। एक अकेला कितनों को भारी पड़ रहा है। अरे नारे बोलने के लिए भी जीता हूं, देश के लिए कुछ करने के लिए निकला हुआ हूं। और इसलिए ये राजनीतिक खेल खेलने वाले लोग, उनके अंदर वो हौसला नहीं है, वो ढूंढ रहे हैं, बचने का रास्ता खोज रहे हैं। आदरणीय सभापति जी, राष्ट्रपति जी के उम्दा भाषण को, राष्ट्रपति जी के मार्गदर्शक भाषण को, राष्ट्रपति जी के प्रेरक भाषण को इस सदन के अंदर अभिनंदन करते हुए, धन्यवाद करते हुए, आपका भी आभार व्यक्त करते हुए अपनी बात को समाप्त करता हूं।
And you heard the chants of Modi, Modi, and then the opposition trying their level best, Anurag Bhadoria and Dr. Suman C. Raman, that whatever the Prime Minister is trying to convey does not went through. But Tuhin Sinha, it went through. Deshratan Nigam, it clearly went through. So Anurag Bhadoria, what's your problem? And I begin with the opposition first, Tuhin, and then I'm coming to you. Anurag Bhadoria, what's the issue? You don't want the Prime Minister to speak? Or you are unable to counter? Anurag Bhadoria of the Samajwadi Party person. Yes, sir.
ऐश्वर्या जी, मुझे अभी तक एक बात समझ में नहीं आई, मैंने पहले बोला था फिर भी बोलता हूं। लास्ट 30 सालों से 15 साल की सरकार भारतीय जनता पार्टी की, 15 साल की सरकार कांग्रेस की है। अब देखिए क्या खेल हो रहा है। बीजेपी कांग्रेस के ऊपर ब्लेम कर रही है, कांग्रेस बीजेपी पे ब्लेम कर रही है। अगर कांग्रेस ने बहुत अच्छा किया होता तो बीजेपी को मौका क्यों मिलता? अब बीजेपी भी कांग्रेस की राह पे जा रही है, तो आखिर सवाल उठता है कि जिस जनता के लिए सरकार बनती है, जिस जनता को वादे किए जाते हैं, जिस किसान को वादा किया गया था कि आपकी इनकम दोगुनी हो जाएगी, जिस किसान को कहा गया था कि डीजल पेट्रोल की कीमत भी कम होगी जिससे आपकी लागत कम आएगी, जिस किसानों को ये प्रॉमिस किया गया था कि आपको एमएसपी की लागत की आपको एमएसपी मिलेगी और लागत जो आपकी लग रही है उसकी कीमत मिलेगी और उसकी कीमत दोगुनी तिगुनी भी मिलेगी, आपको अपने पैरों पे खड़ा किया जाएगा, आप अपने इलाके में फूड प्रोसेसिंग की यूनिट लगा पाएंगे और आप जो पैदा करते हैं असली मालिक आप हो, उसमें हक आपका होगा, दूसरे लोग उसको उतना नहीं कमा पाएंगे। इसी तरह से जो मध्य वर्ग के बिजनेसमैन थे उनको भी सपना दिया गया था कि आपकी बिजनेस बड़ी होगी।
अनुराग भदौरिया, I take your point. अनुराग भदौरिया, I take your point. And I'm also understanding. But you need to understand that it's the people of this country who first chose Congress and then the BJP. Anurag Bhadoria, if Samajwadi Party was not chosen, it's your desperation and it's your failure. Firstly. Secondly, Tuhin Sinha, it seems as if Anurag Bhadoria is highly influenced by Rahul Gandhi. He's keeping a beer to the equal of Rahul Gandhi, but that's okay. Tuhin Sinha of the BJP is countering. Yeah, Tuhin Sinha.
राहुल गांधी से क्या
पास था टीचर, उनके पास था, मेरे पास था गुलाल, जिनके पास जो था दिया उसने उछाल. So I think, these words sum up the massive difference, the colossal difference that exists in the thought process and the worldview between the BJP, the ruling party, and the opposition parties. ये मित्रकाल की बात करते हैं. हाँ, वाकई ये मित्रकाल है. हमारे मित्र वो 81 करोड़ लोग हैं जिनको पिछले 3 साल से जो है मुफ्त हम अनाज प्रदान कर रहे हैं, मुहैया करा रहे हैं. हमारे
but the opposition is demanding an explanation on Adani, and they say that the Prime Minister and your party is not giving an explanation on it. That's their main counter.
You need to understand that Rahul Gandhi has a habit of demonizing institutions. 5 years ago, it was HAL and the defense establishment. Now it is the banking institutions. At the end of the day, his target is the banks. On what basis did the bank give loans? Do you think our banks give unsecured loans? All the loans obtained by any businessman in the country is secured loans. In fact, the transformation of the banking sector is one of the biggest reforms that we have undertaken and successfully undertaken. The same banks which were NPA hubs are today successfully reporting, unprecedented profits. So Rahul Gandhi has been in the habit of criticizing and demonizing institutions. The banks have been doing the charge. SEBI is the right regulator. So I think, the answers need to be provided by the institutions, and they have been doing an incredible job by dragging in the Prime Minister merely on the basis of a few pictures. Now, if you want to play photo, we can show Rahul Gandhi's picture with Jeremy Corbyn. We can show Rahul Gandhi's picture signing the deal with China, with the Chinese Communist Party. So I think, an opposition leader needs to act with greater maturity and credibility, which unfortunately the opposition
Suman C.
parties
Raman.
not shown.
Dr. Raman.
Look, Aishwarya,
Raman.
the issue is very simple. The opposition is asking for a debate in Parliament. The opposition is asking for some kind of a response from the Prime Minister on an issue where nearly 8 lakh crore has been wiped off from the market, and though some of it has come back, again today there has started to be a further decline. So the point really is that there are specific charges in the Hindenburg report. Apparently, there is already an inquiry, which has been going on for the last 1.5 years by the agencies, by SEBI. What happened to the report? Now, this whole approach of saying we will not mention the A word at all, and we will not get into a discussion on the floor of the House, makes the whole thing appear even more suspicious. Why not simply order an inquiry? Say that an inquiry will be done in a time-bound manner. That is the way we are going to boost the confidence of the investor community, especially the international investor community has to gain confidence in India. You've already seen, despite what's happening in the share price, so many of the international, investors have Total Gas apparently has put its $4 billion project with the Adani group on hold until the clarifications come out. The various international banks have asked for clarifications and are doing their own due diligence on these charges. Now, why
And
is
that's the point, Suman C. Raman. The whole international angle to it. Desh Ratan Nigam, are we giving undue importance or concentration to this report? Because what is suddenly happening, and there have been indications, and I'll tell you, I'll be very specific, Desh Ratan Nigam. The UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, when asked on this, very specifically said that he says that there is a conspiracy hatching against India, you see, and there are linkages to it. It's not happening in isolation.
Are these charges true or not? Are they shell companies or not?
Aishwarya,
Why don't you investigate
Suman C. Raman, I'll come back to you. Desh Ratan Nigam. Yeah.
Aishwarya, in fact,
Sumant, I'll come to you.
our Prime Minister is communicator par excellence. And the way he spoke yesterday in the Lok Sabha and today in the Raj Sabha clearly points out that he made a mince meat out of opposition in Lok Sabha and sliced it today, salami slicing today. So that's what I look at it. And the opposition, the Rahul Nehru gang, does not have any answer to that. In fact, that's a hit job gang which has been there, and there is a pattern to it. Look at how they tried to put down our own vaccine and wanted Pfizer, which actually is today debased in the entire world. Then you attacked our own pharmacies. Then you have an agreement and take money from the. Please don't interfere. Please don't interfere. I never interfere. And then when you see a pattern, then the conspiracy arises. Now we have a very robust financial regulation system, and they are doing their own job. In fact, the institutions which had exposure, like SBI and LIC, have said they have less than 1% of exposure, and still they are making 70% profits on their investments. So the system is already there. And
I'll just tell you, I'll have a breaking news coming in, and I'll request my team to just break it also. The LIC chairman, MR Kumar, has just said that we will meet the Adani Group's top management soon. The LIC chairman is saying, MR Kumar is saying, Anurag Badore and Tuhin Sinha first, that we will meet the Adani Group's top management soon. He is saying that let there be no doubt, we will meet them soon. Tuhin Sinha, and this is happening after the LIC chairman and the SBI both stating very clearly that the exposure is not even 1%. It's in decimals. Don't panic. Tuhin Sinha.
So
the LIC chairman MR Kumar is specifying we will meet the Adani.
I'm not privy to the reason for the meeting, but whoever SBI does business with, I think SBI should be meeting all its stakeholders. So that I don't think there is anything big in it. Point is, Mr. Sumant C. Raman just mentioned that SEBI inquiry has been going on for the last 1.5 years. You may be in a better position to verify this. But has that barred the states of Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, Kerala or Punjab from doing business with Adani? And that is why I am throwing this challenge. In the next 48 hours, will the Chhattisgarh government and will the Rajasthan government scrap all business deals they have signed with Adani Group in the last 2 years? Will they do that? And if they don't do that, then what moral authority do they have to lecture the central government?
Sumant versus.
Can I respond? 2 points, sir. First of all, the issue of Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, or Bengal, or Kerala, or whatever. Now, earlier, had SEBI published a report which of their investigation, which they apparently, quote unquote, they have been doing for the last 1.5 years. God knows whether it's been completed or not. But had they published a report and had they found the Adani Group culpable, then we do not know what decisions the Chhattisgarh government or the Rajasthan government would have taken. But look, the whole issue is very simple, sir. The issue is there are specific charges of shell companies. There are specific charges of insider trading and share price manipulation. Now, all that we need is an agency to say that these 4 companies which invested $7 billion into the Adani Group, which comprised, by the way, 95% plus of their total assets, who owns these companies? Has there been a violation of the law? It will not take more than a week or 10 days for our agencies to get this information. Why is this information not being brought before the public? Is it not important to know? The charge is very simple.
Anurag Bhadoria, I'll get you. No. Let me get Anurag Bhadoria. And this Anurag Bhadoria, don't you feel that the opposition seems to be playing to the tunes of certain very specific international players who don't have India's interest at helm? Don't you feel so, Anurag Bhadoria? Just because a foreign report said something, the opposition won't let the Prime Minister speak. Anurag Bhadoria ji.
मुझे एक देखिए लोकतंत्र में एक बात को तो आपको मानना पड़ेगा। अगर पार्लियामेंट में या लोकतंत्र में विपक्ष को या जनता को ऐसा लगता है कि किसी कहीं ना कहीं कुछ गड़बड़ी है, तो लोकतंत्र में अगर पार्लियामेंट आपसे कह रहा है आप जेपीसी करा दीजिए, तो मुझे नहीं लगता कि सरकार क्यों नहीं कराना चाहती। करवा दीजिए, दूध का दूध पानी का पानी हो जाएगा। मुझे लगता है इसमें इतनी बहस की आवश्यकता भी नहीं है। अगर कहीं संशय है, किसी बात पे कोई डाउट है, लगता है कि हम कहते हैं हेडनबर्ग की करवा दीजिए, उसकी रिपोर्ट की करवा दीजिए कि भाई कोई व्यक्ति हमारे देश पे इतना आरोप लगा रहा है, उसके बारे में एक इंक्वायरी हो जाए। हमारे पास इतनी बड़ी एजेंसीज हैं, हेडनबर्ग के बारे में अरे भाई कोई झूठ बोल रहा है।
No, Toin, I'll come to you. And while this is happening, there is another breaking news coming in. No, you need to understand. Anurag ji, suniye. Dr. Sumant, Anurag ji, it's more important for you. The LIC, the public sector insurer LIC on Thursday has reported manifold jump. And please listen. Manifold jump in Q3 of net income of 8,334.2 crores during the 3 months ended December 2022 against 235 crore a year ago. You need to understand, just because a foreign group, a foreign NGO, a foreign research group says something, Anurag ji, आपकी मतलब वो कोई भ्रम वाक्य नहीं है. That's not sacrosanct. Why are you believing it? Desh Ratan Nigam, our opposition seems to be no.
सुन तो लीजिए.
Okay, Anurag Bhadoria, why are you trusting that so much?
मैं बोलूं.
बोलिए.
देखिए.
Why?
अच्छा, मैं उसकी बात पे ट्रस्ट नहीं कर रहा हूं. हिडनबर्गर को उसका कह रहा है, मान लीजिए हम उसकी बात पे ट्रस्ट नहीं करते, लेकिन कोई मेरे देश पे आरोप लगा रहा है तो उस पे तो हमारी इंक्वायरी होनी चाहिए ना. उस व्यक्ति पे, एजेंसी पे तो इंक्वायरी होनी चाहिए. हिडनबर्ग क्यों ऐसा कह रहा है भाई? उसको खींच के लाइए ना. हमारे हिंदुस्तान के किसी आदमी पे या हिंदुस्तान के ऊपर आरोप लगा रहा है और हम उसके बारे में भी
स्टॉक मार्केट बहुत ऊपर जा रहा है.
नहीं, किसी व्यक्ति पे आरोप लगा.
अरे
भाई अरे मेरी बात सुन लीजिए, कोई
देश पे आरोप नहीं है।
हम बहस के मैं आप कह लो, मैं कह लूं अपनी बात। अरे भाई मेरे देश के किसी व्यक्ति पे आरोप लगा रहा है, किसी कंपनी पे आरोप लगा रहा है कि नहीं लगा रहा है? हर व्यक्ति, मेरी भी जितनी महत्व है इस देश के अंदर में, उतना हर व्यक्ति का भी महत्व है। हम सब हिंदुस्तानी हैं और हिंदुस्तान के एक हिस्सा है, हिंदुस्तान के नागरिक हैं। अगर हमारे ऊपर कोई आरोप लगाएगा तो हमारी जिम्मेदारी बनती है कि उसके बारे में पता होना चाहिए।
देश रत्न निगम सुमन सिंह रमन तुहिन सिन्हा, I'm asking a flip question. Just imagine for a second, and viewers, you also need to think about it. Just imagine, reverse of what has happened. An Indian group, an Indian research group, commenting with a detailed report on an international firm, Tuhin Sinha. Just imagine, just say for an example, XYZ, an American or a European firm, an Indian research group. Will there be a similar response in their parliaments or in their Congress?
Certainly there will be.
Will there be?
The merits of what
We
is
really need
quoted
to think
there
about it, Suman
matters,
Siraman.
nothing else. What are the merits
Suman
of what is
Siraman,
quoted there
I am
in the
saying
report?
exactly flip it. No, it won't happen,
Aishwarya,
Suman. Suman Siraman, it won't happen. Just flip it.
It will most certainly happen, Aishwarya. These are not vague general charges. These are very specific charges that are being made. And any specific charge needs to be investigated. It is a very simple matter. I don't know why the ruling party is running away from this thing. I forget about everything else.
Okay, quick answer.
5 or 6 specific charges of illegality will not take more than 10 days to investigate.
Okay, quick counter.
In fact, Aishwarya, Hindenburg is a short seller. We all know it's a short seller. It makes money by manipulating reports.
Sir, but why are you scared of investigation?
Manipulating reports and then crashing the share market and then trying to make profit out of it. It's a well established in United States of America. Now let us talk of the on merits even on Adani. The 65 questions, which are actually major questions out of 88, the information was available in public domain through annual returns, which was filed in ROC. And they were scrutinized by the ROC also, because it is unless and until otherwise there is objections. I am aware of it because I deal with such kind of cases.
Tuhin Sinha, ending comments.
Why are they running away from investigation? It is clean, he will come out clean.
Tuhin Sinha. Please don't do it, Dr. Saman. Yeah. Tuhin.
Only known case of money laundering and shell companies that I know was in the National Herald case, where the person who's making the accusation right now is out on bail. Point number 1. Point number 2, as Mr. Nigam rightly pointed out, Hindenburg is a short selling, it's a lobby, it's a big scam where
It's a short seller in itself, Tuhin.
It's a short seller, fuzzy short seller.
Absolutely, Tuhin. So Anurag Bhadoria, you need to understand.
मार्केट्स क्रैश करने के लिए पीछे पड़े हैं ये लोग। तो क्या ये चाहते हैं कि मार्केट बर्बाद हो जाए? SEBI is doing its own investigation. Let SEBI do its own investigation. Have faith in SEBI. The problem is you guys.
No. Fresh investigation has been announced. Sorry, sir. No investigation has been announced fresh.
The opposition has every right to take on and ask the government. The only point I am making, Anurag Bhadoria, सिर्फ एक point जो मैं बोल रहा हूँ. Why do you want to base your attack onto the government? You have every right to ask the government questions, but don't base your complete attack on a report by a company which is not trusted in its own country of origin. Don't do that at least. That's the time I have on debate number 1. For debate number 2 on the special burning question, I have my colleague Shawan Sen joining in soon. Thank you all of you for this. Thank you.
Amity University is establishing a most advanced supercomputing facility for research and innovation in the field of artificial intelligence. Scientists and researchers passionate to make a difference in the field of artificial intelligence are invited to contact at ai@amity.edu.
bid of Pakistani drug smugglers has been foiled by the BSF, and this time this happened in the Gurdaspur sector nearby the international border. Last night at 9:40 p.m. a drone sortie has been spotted by the BSF troops, and following the suspected drone in the Indian territory, BSF troops has opened multiple fires, resulting the drone has been pushed back to the Pakistan. But now the search and operation is underway in the area, just because the situation is apprehended that this Pakistani drone might have dropped any drug consignment at the Indian territory, and local police in fact, as well as BSF, both are launching simultaneously an investigation as well, that who all are at the Indian territory who are connected with the Pakistani drug smugglers and receiving these drugs consignments. Search is underway. Another Pakistani drone has been pushed back by the BSF after opening the fire last night in the Gurdaspur sector, and even another bid of Pakistani drug smugglers has been foiled by the BSF last night in Punjab.
Ahead of the Karnataka Assembly elections this year, now going on and looking at the entire scenario, the Shimoga airport will be inaugurated on the 27th of Feb this month by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and Chief Minister Baswaraj Bommai has also stated that this particular airport will be named after B.S. Yediyurappa, the Lingayat strongman from the BJP party, and he's also stated that the cabinet has already decided on it, and they will convene today to go ahead and send in a proposal to the government as well, to the centre as well. And ahead of this, due to the upcoming elections too, there are a lot of politics also being seen around, because this project was again started in 2020 by the former Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa during his regime, and it was constructed in a period of 18 months as well. And even though B.S. Yediyurappa on several occasions had gone on to refuse the fact, stating that the airport should not be named after him, the cabinet has finally decided giving in to the demands of the people as well.
Bid of Pakistani drug smugglers has been foiled by the BSF, and this time this happened in the Gurdaspur sector nearby the international border. Last night at 9:40 p.m. a drone sortie has been spotted by the BSF troops, and following the suspected drone in the Indian territory, BSF troops has opened multiple fires, resulting the drone has been pushed back to the Pakistan. But now the search and operation is underway in the area, just because the situation is apprehended that this Pakistani drone might have dropped any drug consignment at the Indian territory, and local police in fact, as well as BSF, both are launching simultaneously an investigation as well, that who all are at the Indian territory who are connected with the Pakistani drug smugglers and receiving these drugs consignments. Search is underway. Another Pakistani drone has been pushed back by the BSF after opening the fire last night in the Gurdaspur sector, and even another bid of Pakistani drug smugglers has been foiled by the BSF last night in Punjab.
Ahead of the Karnataka Assembly elections this year, now going on and looking at the entire scenario, the Shimoga airport will be inaugurated on the 27th of Feb this month by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and Chief Minister Baswaraj Bommai has also stated that this particular airport will be named after B.S. Yediyurappa, the Lingayat strongman from the BJP party, and he's also stated that the cabinet has already decided on it, and they will convene today to go ahead and send in a proposal to the government as well, to the centre as well. And ahead of this, due to the upcoming elections too, there are a lot of politics also being seen around, because this project was again started in 2020 by the former Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa during his regime, and it was constructed in a period of 18 months as well. And even though B.S. Yediyurappa on several occasions had gone on to refuse the fact, stating that the airport should not be named after him, the cabinet has finally decided giving in to the demands of the people as well.
Bid of Pakistani drug smugglers has been foiled by the BSF, and this time this happened in the Gurdaspur sector nearby the international border. Last night at 9:40 p.m. a drone sortie has been spotted by the BSF troops, and following the suspected drone in the Indian territory, BSF troops has opened multiple fires, resulting the drone has been pushed back to the Pakistan. But now the search and operation is underway in the area, just because the situation is apprehended that this Pakistani drone might have dropped any drug consignment at at the Indian territory, and police, local police in fact, as well as BSF, both are launching simultaneously an investigation as well, that who all are at the Indian territory who are connected with the Pakistani drug smugglers and receiving these drugs consignments. Search is underway. Another Pakistani drone has been pushed back by the BSF after opening the fire last night in the Gurdaspur sector, and even another bid of Pakistani drug smugglers has been foiled by the BSF last night in Punjab.
Ahead of the Karnataka Assembly elections this year, now going on and looking at the entire scenario, the Shimoga airport will be inaugurated on the 27th of Feb this month by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and Chief Minister Baswaraj Bommai has also stated that this particular airport will be named after B.S. Yediyurappa, the Lingayat strongman from the BJP party.
Modi in full form in Parliament, opposition missing. United or divided, has the opposition failed to corner Modi? Are we heading to 2024 without an opposition? Debating tonight at 9 p.m.
Trending Burning Question, presented by Samsonite, powered by XUV400 and Cool Fans.
Hello, welcome. You're watching the Trending Burning Question with me, Shravan Sen. Yet another scam that hits the Aam Aadmi Party. Aam Aadmi Party remains defiant, but which way is it really headed? That's the big question on the Turning Burning Question. In the national capital, remember, there's been a massive battle between the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party yet again. And this time, it's over a CBI report to the Vigilance Department claiming political intelligence gathering by a committee formed by the Aam Aadmi Party in 2015. The BJP is going all out, from demanding Kejriwal's deputy's resignation to a massive showdown in the national capital, while the Aam Aadmi Party continues to refute the charges. What is it that they are saying? They say that there's a unit that was created, and this unit was named as the feedback unit. And the mandate that was given was to find out whether at all there's been any corruption in the government departments. There was an inquiry that was carried out, a preliminary inquiry carried out by the Central Bureau of Investigation, and they make a sensational allegation. They say that 40% of the work that this particular unit was doing was gathering political intelligence. This report has been submitted to the Vigilance Department. FIR hasn't been registered, but the BJP is now hitting the streets. They are saying that they were targeting political opponents. Take a look at this report, and then we start the Trending Burning Question.
The BJP has hit the streets against Kejriwal over alleged snooping by Aam Aadmi Party government.
केजरीवाल ने दूरबीन लगा रखी है जासूसी करने के लिए, फीडबैक यूनिट बनाई है, सीक्रेट सर्विस फंड बनाया है, एलजी से परमिशन ली, कानून इजाजत नहीं देता, एसीबी और विजिलेंस पहले ही है, तो अपने विरोधियों की, सेंट्रल मिनिस्टर्स, एमपीज, एमएलएज, इन सब की वो जासूसी करवा रहे हैं, सरकारी अधिकारियों की, मीडिया की, जजेस की. तो भाई पॉलिटिक्स में आप जासूसी कराएंगे, ये तो आपको इजाजत नहीं है.
This is the BJP who's protesting at this point in time at the ITO of the national capital, and this protest is going to go ahead. They are going to gherao the Aam Aadmi Party office. That's something what we have been told. This is about the feedback unit which is coming in light, which was made in by the Aam Aadmi Party. As Aam Aadmi Party till now is calling this baseless, and BJP Karyakartas at this point in time is protesting in the national capital.
This comes right after a CBI report stated that the Aam Aadmi Party government used feedback unit to snoop on political opponents.
तो देखिए प्रोटेस्ट है जासूसी के खिलाफ, और केजरीवाल जी की पार्टी ने जो अपराध किया है वो माफ करने योग्य नहीं है, क्योंकि फीडबैक यूनिट के नाम पर एक सरकारी तंत्र बनाया गया जिसमें सरकारी पैसा खर्च किया गया और जिसका मुख्य उद्देश्य जासूसी करना था. वो सीधे तौर पर ये दर्शाता है कि आम आदमी पार्टी की मंशा ठीक नहीं थी, और इस मामले में जो सीबीआई ने जांच करके जो मामला दर्ज किया है ये गंभीर मामला है.
LG has taken cognizance of the report and the BJP wants Sisodia to resign. The snooping controversy is only snowballing. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Joining us on the trending burning question tonight, Charu Pragya of the BJP, Sangeet Ragi, political analyst, Anirban Banerjee, political analyst, and Ravi Srivastav. Opening up the debate tonight are Anirban Banerjee and Charu Pragya. Charu Pragya, the allegation that the BJP is essentially levelling against the Aam Aadmi Party is that you are snooping on the political opponents. Aam Aadmi Party says if that's the case, what really happened in the matter of Pegasus? At that point in time, the government said there is no snooping that's happened. Now, the Aam Aadmi Party is just hitting out, saying that these are false allegations. There is no truth behind these allegations.
Shravan, number one, to clarify things, this is not BJP levying any allegations. This is an allegation which was sounded out by the Vigilance Department of Delhi government, Aam Aadmi Party government itself. And it has asked CBI to investigate. So that's the first clarification, and we need to remember this. BJP is protesting against it. But these are not allegations made by us or created by us. It comes from within their own government. Number two, this is a government which has been using our money, taxpayers' money, to do illegal things. It has been using our money to snoop on people. It has been using our money to misuse their official power, to misuse the officers who are deployed at different departments in Delhi government. This entire unit, first of all, what they call the feedback unit, was done without approval from the cabinet. Why don't they respond on that? We put in money here without any approval from the candidate, from the cabinet, and this money has been misappropriated. Who's going to be answerable for that? And what feedback do they need? In the name of feedback, they are collecting data, etc., spying on people who come from political outfits, who are other politicians, political organizations. Is this something that Delhi government should be allowed to get away with? Please tell me. And every single time, fingers are raised at Delhi government, we found that the truth is a lot murkier than
you made your opening remarks.
Whatever it might be, burning down Delhi, whether it is the liquor gate, whether it is corruption charges, whether it is
Charu, let's stick to
classrooms.
Well, Charu, let's just stick to this particular issue because this has a massive ramification on the ground. Anirban, let's understand this. If this, hypothetically speaking, if the BJP was doing this on their political opponents, you would have trained your guns at the center. You would have said that, look here, BJP is completely fearful. They do not want any sort of dissent. And that is the reason why this kind of a snooping, a department that is created without any oversight. Don't you think somewhere down the line, when this is being used, allegedly used, by the Aam Aadmi Party themselves, and this particular report, I'm quoting from here, Anirban, I'm just simply saying what the Vigilance Department has been told. They are saying that 60%, that is, of the 60% of the work that they were doing, looking into the department, 40%, Anirban, was looking into political intelligence, gathering data for political intelligence.
Well, you said that if the BJP had snooped on their opponents, I think the question is never if. We all know that they have actually snooped, and we do not know whether they are still snooping on their political opponents.
But on what basis?
Because
no, Anirban, I'll tell you,
yes,
there's a slight difference. We may like to believe, Anirban, I don't want to interrupt you because I've given adequate time to Charu. I'll give you adequate time to you also, Anirban. But I'll tell you the difference here. The premise that you are basically starting at, hinting at the Pegasus, let's understand the apex court has struck it down. So there is no real evidence, at least even allegedly. There is nothing really on the table. As far as this is concerned, you have a report that has been prepared. As Charu says, forget about the center. It's the Vigilance Department which has the Delhi government in it. That very department has filed a report. They were the ones who had raised the issue. CBI has just carried out a preliminary inquiry and has given. So there is a stark difference between what you're thinking as far as Pegasus is concerned and what is this.
There were a number of international media organizations who got together and published the report, and the India government never gave a clear answer in the parliament or outside it. So that's a different issue. In the case of Delhi, say Aam Aadmi Party, who is ruling Delhi, Delhi is not even a full state because the police and many parts of the administration does not belong to the state government. There's the LG who basically controls most of the things, and whoever is at the union government, the whichever party, they choose the LG and the LG acts on their base. So you want me to believe that Aam Aadmi Party is actually snooping on BJP, the largest political party in the world, who effectively controls almost every administrative aspect of Delhi as well as the entire country. The LG is there to look after everything, not look after, but rather act as a headmaster. And the chief minister of Delhi does not even have the freedom of taking their own decisions. So you want me to believe that AAP will dare do this thing?
Okay, Sangeet Ragi. No, Charu, I'll give you the time. Charu, I'll give you the time. Anirban has made his opening remark. Sangeet Ragi, as far as Anirban is concerned, he makes a slight point when it comes to this battle between the Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP. And since you're a political analyst, it's the perfect question to ask you, not really to Charu, because Charu will have to defend her party. Sangeet Ragi, just think about it. The warpath that both the parties go on to, sometimes logic is basically thrown out of the window. Anirban says that do you really think that they have the capacity right now, the Aam Aadmi Party, which does not really have most of the agencies with them, and as far as snooping is concerned, there is a particular protocol that is in place, and it is impossible beyond a point without certain ministries at the center really knowing about it, because it is not something like you just pick up the phone or you put it some sort of a machine and the snooping happens. There is a laid down protocol. So if you really talk from the fact point of view, is it not perhaps overstretching when you say that the Aam Aadmi Party is carrying out a blanket snooping, political opponents are being looked into, institutions, judiciary? I had one of the BJP leaders saying the judiciary is being snooped upon by the Aam Aadmi Party. Don't you think that, perhaps it's a bit of an overstretch?
Look, except for, tapping phone, I think that all other measures can be initiated by any state government to snoop on snoop at snoop on the opponents. I think that it's a classical case of institutionalized illegal snooping on political opponents. And not only political opponents, but how the bureaucracy is functioning. Are they supporting the BJP, or are they communicating with the BJP leaders, or are they communicating information to the LG? Because it is all based on the disbelief and suspicion towards others. The Aam Aadmi Party entire politics is based on the suspicion that the rest of the people, except Arvind Kejriwal and his coterie, is corrupt, completely corrupt. And in order to defend themselves and in order to prove the point, they have been alleging charges against all the opponents that they are corrupt, the bureaucracy is not functioning, the bureaucracy is corrupt, and they are locking horns with the LG also. So I think that if it would have the charges would have come from the BJP and the central government, then you could have question. But it is the wing which the party has created. It is not coming from outside, it is coming from within the party, within the government. You have created a feedback mechanism, but the feedback mechanism is less to do with the performance, assessing the performance of the government, seeking the opinion of the people, and then improve the public policy towards good governance. In a state, you are using that institution or you are using that messaging to find out what the opposition or political parties are doing and to malign their character, to malign their image, to feed, negative
Can I come in now? Can I come in now,
inputs
Shravan?
in the media so that the opponents could be finished.
Okay, okay. Let me quickly bring in Ravi Srivastava. Ravi Srivastava, I asked this question of a bit of an overstretch. Sangeet Ragi says that there are resources that can be employed by the state government. The fact of the matter here is that if the Aam Aadmi Party has nothing to really hide, and this is a question that, perhaps applies to the Aam Aadmi Party when it comes to the other big allegation leveled against them, that is the excise policy. I've been constantly referring to this fact that why is it so very difficult for the Aam Aadmi Party to come out in the open and talk about their own reports. Even if you take a look at the excise department, it was their own vigilance department who had basically flagged this off. As far as the snooping is concerned, it is their own department who has flagged it off, Ravi Srivastava. So to say that it's the LG who's behind it, to say that the BJP is really behind it, but what we are obfuscating is the fact that this is coming in from the very own department under the government of Delhi.
Shravan, first of all, the case is 8 years old and was started 2015, and that feedback unit was stopped after some 8 months or so. And the so-called inquiry or so-called charges, they are all baseless, fabricated, concocted. Nothing can sustain a judicial scrutiny. Let them do anything. BJP is grossly frustrated because 3 consequential defeats in Delhi by the Delhiites, 2 crore people, last the 4th one, that municipal election. I think it is completely, they have become irrelevant as far as Delhi is concerned. To stay alive, to clutch some kind of an issue, which is, low-hanging fruit, they are trying to do this kind of thing. Out of 160 cases which have been made against the Delhi government, in 130 they have been fully absolved, and their court has admonished the prosecution that you are doing a shoddy work and you should come well prepared. Now, what Pegasus was, that is everybody has known. What was done by the present Home Minister.
But that's exactly what I was saying. Ravi Srivastava, that's exactly what I was saying.
Snooping of a girl or something is known to the whole world. So these are the people who are used to.
I was exactly raising this point. I was exactly raising this point, Ravi Srivastava. When you basically say, no, Ravi Srivastava, you are basically equating once again.
They are not scared of it. Let anything happen. Let
this report that you're talking about, Ravi Srivastava, was back in 2016. I agree. Ravi Srivastava. This report that we are talking about, a letter was written by the Vigilance Department. K.S. Meena, Deputy Secretary, had written this back in 2016. CBI starts a preliminary inquiry. And herein I want to bring in Charu Pragya. Charu, is there a pattern? Is there a pattern? Because the fact of the matter is that an FR has not been registered. If you remember the DTC scam also, the FR comes in much later. It's the BJP leaders who get the information first, is what Aam Aadmi Party says. Now, in this particular case also, if you take a look at it, Charu, I have the entire copy, I have the entire sequence, the letter that was first written by K.S. Meena, sent to the Central Bureau of Investigation. This is dated 4th of November 2016. I am hinting at whether at all there is a pattern that the Aam Aadmi Party should be troubled in some way or the other.
So, Shravan, now Aam Aadmi Party has always been levying allegations like this. But when they took these kind of statements to the Supreme Court, let me remind them what the Supreme Court said. The Supreme Court said whether it is the ED or the CBI, they are well within their constitutional rights to investigate before an FIR is filed. This is the legality of it. There is nothing irregular. This is not a simple investigation by your local police station. These investigations, no, I am sorry that you think like that, and it is terrible that you think like that, because they are independent.
Nothing else.
Mr. Srivastava, Ravi Srivastava, hold on. Ravi Srivastava, hold on. Ravi Srivastava, hold on. 1 minute. Ravi Srivastava, don't do this. Don't do this. I'm not allowing, Ravi Srivastava, I'm not allowing someone to speak over the other. No, 1 minute. You don't make any sense. 1 minute. Ravi Srivastava, This does not make sense. Let's just one minute, Charu. Charu, I'll give you 20 seconds. 20 seconds each. 20 seconds each. I just want one final comment also to come in from Anirban. 20 seconds, Charu Pragya, and then Anirban responds.
Yeah, very quickly. So the CBI, the ED are well within their rights to investigate the way they see fit, and the Supreme Court has agreed to this. They have said it in one of their orders that they are well within their rights, and I don't understand whether the opposition parties in India even understand how agencies work. Number one. Number two, very quickly, I also want to say this. As Modi ji said in Parliament just yesterday, the problem of the opposition is election हार गए तो EVM खराब है, केस नेगेटिव आ गया तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट खराब है, और अगर आपने स्कैम किया है और इन्वेस्टिगेट होने जा रहा है तो CBI में आईना नहीं देखना, अपनी कमियां नहीं देखनी. You need to fix that. It's a major problem. And very quickly and lastly, Shravan, every time the Aam Aadmi Party has been investigated in depth, they have found in murky waters. Now, whether it was Delhi burning down thanks to their councillor, Tahir Hussain, whether it is one of their ministers sitting behind bars in jail and not getting bail, whether them taking back the liquor policy because it was so scamming at all levels.
How long? 20 seconds. How long? 20 seconds, Shravan.
Okay, Anirban, just a quick response. Anirban, just a quick response. I'm running short of time. Otherwise, I would have continued. But, Anirban, just one quick question. Now, the last charge sheet that was filed by the enforcement directed in the excise policy makes a very scathing remark. In fact, there is a revelation that about 70 lakh rupees was actually used by the Aam Aadmi Party from the proceeds of crime during the campaigning in Goa per a survey that was carried out. So, what's important to point out here is the Aam Aadmi Party may just keep passing the buck by simply saying that, look here, we are being targeted. Now, there has to be an end to this victimhood card, that look here, we can't work because the LG is not allowing us to work. Look here, we can't work because the BJP does not want us to work. There is always some sort of a conspiracy, or there is that victimhood card that the Aam Aadmi Party wants to play. The people of this city, the national capital, are maybe tired of this kind of shadow boxing that continues.
They are so tired, they are repeatedly and consecutively voting Aam Aadmi Party to power. But the fact is that the ED and CBI, whenever it comes to targeting political opponents, that they have lost their credibility regarding impartiality is proven by the fact that whenever any political leader, when he is in a party other than the BJP, opposing the BJP, joins the BJP, the investigation instantly stops, and after a few months or years the charges are dropped. Why is that? I can give you multiple examples. Himanta Biswa Sharma, he was targeted by the BJP for corruption. The investigation is gone when he joined BJP. Right. Shubhendu Adhikari, he was targeted by the BJP. Investigation is stopped.
Okay, we go back to that. We go back. Every time there is an agency which steps in, Anirban, we go back to the same old thing. But next time, Anirban, I'll also get you the list of the BJP leaders who are under this scanner called in for questioning. And I don't know whether Charu is then going to come or not, but I'm sure she will. But I will bring back that list also. I have been covering them, so I know exactly as far as facts are concerned. So I'll bring that list to you, Anirban, next time when we continue with this debate. But thank you very much, Charu, Anirban, Sangeet Ragi and Ravi Srivastava for joining us on this trending burning question. Can I get some more breaking news right now? Union Home Minister Amit Shah took to social media to share a video of the rescue operations in Turkey, where an NDRF team saved the life of a 6-year-old girl, Piran. Home Minister Amit Shah said, and I quote, "Under the guidance of the Prime Minister, we are committed to making the NDRF the world's leading disaster response force." Now that's the tweet that has been put out by the Union Home Minister. Remember, after that massive disaster, natural disaster in Turkey and Syria, Prime Minister Modi had been one of the first world leaders to make that promise of the rescue team reaching Turkey. In fact, we are now given to understand multiple teams of the NDRF, not just the NDRF, but also the armed forces are currently in Turkey to carry out the rescue operation. That's all that we could pack in this edition of the Trending Burning Question. On the other side, the debate with Editor-in-Chief Arnab Goswami.
Why Adani cannot trapeze on the politics? Politics ends, but questions to Adani remain. Can Adani Group brush controversy under the rug? Debating tonight at 10 p.m.
Amity University is establishing a most advanced supercomputing facility for research and innovation in the field of artificial intelligence. Scientists and researchers passionate to make a difference in the field of artificial intelligence are invited to contact at ai@amity.edu.
आग को फैलने से रोकना मुश्किल है पर नामुमकिन नहीं। अब फायरवॉल टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ सेंचुरी प्लाइड क्लब प्राइम आग से बचाए।
Bid of Pakistani drug smugglers has been foiled by the BSF, and this time this happened in the Gurdaspur sector nearby the international border. Last night at 9:40 p.m. a drone sortie has been spotted by the BSF troops, and following the suspected drone in the Indian territory, BSF troops has opened multiple fires, resulting the drone has been pushed back to the Pakistan. But now the search and operation is underway in the area, just because the situation is apprehended that this Pakistani drone might have dropped any drug consignment at the Indian territory, and local police in fact, as well as BSF, both are launching simultaneously an investigation as well, that who all are at the Indian territory who are connected with the Pakistani drug smugglers and receiving these drugs consignments. Search is underway. Another Pakistani drone has been pushed back by the BSF after opening the fire last night in the Gurdaspur sector, and even another bid of Pakistani drug smugglers has been foiled by the BSF last night in Punjab.
Ahead of the Karnataka Assembly elections this year, now going on and looking at the entire scenario, the Shimoga airport will be inaugurated on the 27th of Feb this month by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and Chief Minister Baswaraj Bommai has also stated that this particular airport will be named after B.S. Yediyurappa, the Lingayat strongman from the BJP party, and he's also stated that the cabinet has already decided on it, and they will convene today to go ahead and send in a proposal to the government as well, to the centre as well. And ahead of this, due to the upcoming elections too, there are a lot of politics also being seen around, because this project was again started in 2020 by the former Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa during his regime, and it was constructed in a period of 18 months as well. And even though B.S. Yediyurappa on several occasions had gone on to refuse the fact, stating that the airport should not be named after him, the cabinet has finally decided giving in to the demands of the people as well.
Bid of Pakistani drug smugglers has been foiled by the BSF, and this time this happened in the Gurdaspur sector nearby the international border. Last night at 9:40 p.m. a drone sortie has been spotted by the BSF troops, and following the suspected drone in the Indian territory, BSF troops has opened multiple fires, resulting the drone has been pushed back to the Pakistan. But now the search and operation is underway in the area, just because the situation is apprehended that this Pakistani drone might have dropped any drug consignment at the Indian territory, and local police in fact, as well as BSF, both are launching simultaneously an investigation as well, that who all are at the Indian territory who are connected with the Pakistani drug smugglers and receiving these drugs consignments. Search is underway. Another Pakistani drone has been pushed back by the BSF after opening the fire last night in the Gurdaspur sector, and even another bid of Pakistani drug smugglers has been foiled by the BSF last night in Punjab.
Ahead of the Karnataka Assembly elections this year, now going on and looking at the entire scenario, the Shimoga airport will be inaugurated on the 27th of Feb this month by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and Chief Minister Baswaraj Bommai has also stated that this particular airport will be named after B.S. Yediyurappa, the Lingayat strongman from the BJP party, and he's also stated that the cabinet has already decided on it, and they will convene today to go ahead and send in a proposal proposal to the government as well, to the center as well. And ahead of this, due to the upcoming elections too, there are a lot of politics also being seen around, because this project was again started in 2020 by the former Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa during his regime, and it was constructed in a period of 18 months as well. And even though B.S. Yediyurappa on several occasions had gone on to refuse the fact, stating that the airport should not be named after him, the cabinet has finally decided giving in to the demands of the people as well.
Bid of Pakistani drug smugglers has been foiled by the BSF, and this time this happened in the Gurdaspur sector nearby the international border. Last night at 9:40 p.m. a drone sortie has been spotted by the BSF troops, and following the suspected drone in the Indian territory, BSF troops has opened multiple fires, resulting the drone has been pushed back to the Pakistan. But now the search and operation is underway in the area, just because the situation is apprehended that this Pakistani drone might have dropped any drug consignment at the Indian territory, and local police in fact, as well as BSF, both are launching simultaneously an investigation as well, that who all are at the Indian territory who are connected with the Pakistani drug smugglers and receiving these drugs consignments. Search is underway. Another Pakistani drone has been pushed back by the BSF after opening the fire last night in the Gurdaspur sector, and even another bid of Pakistan